This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons
and
Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Choose VA. Veterans get the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Now, your hosts, Shannon Gross and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Cowboys Hour. Thanks.
You're welcome, Brad.
Thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Shannon, I'm glad to have you back.
It's great to be back, Brad.
Missed you last week, man.
I missed you too, man.
Well, then everybody's good. We told everybody you were on home health care duties and had folks to look after, and
everybody's good, man.
Everybody's been looked after.
They've been looked after, and I'm back. They're on their own now.
Outstanding. Okay, great. So, obviously, yesterday's game didn't go the way anybody wanted outside of Arizona, but, our policy here is that we acknowledge that the game happened, we discuss it briefly, and we move on. So we have good news. Shannon Gross is back. That's one bit of good news. And another bit of good news is that we will continue this show, this Cowboys Hour show, for as long as the Cowboys are playing.
Until February. Brad. We're doing this till February. Let's go.
My calendar is cleared. My calendar is cleared. So that's good news. I wish I could tell you that we were not going to continue to be virtual, but that's not the case. We are virtual, and that's what we have to do for safety and health. And here's the other bit of good news. Our guest tonight is a young man that I have wanted to have on all year long. I am so excited about this guy. He's got such a great personality, and he's one of the most dynamic players on the team.
He's funny. He's charming. He's
and he's Canadian.
And he is Canadian.
And he's Canadian. And he's Neville Gallimore.
Hey,
look over there, Neville.
Neville,
thanks for being with us, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
So just so that everyone is caught up, because we are virtual, Shannon and I are in a plexiglass-infested studio.
We're in the penalty box.
We are in the penalty box at the Star, and Neville's at home. Are you on your phone?
Yes.
On your phone, okay.
Yes, sir, I am. I am.
And because we are separated physically, you will hear a slight little delay between Neville's answers and our next question. So we're all just going to work with that and take a deep breath. And so, Neville, so we were just talking, I presume, all of you, first, I do want to say welcome to everyone who's joining us on the Cowboys Radio Network, wherever you may be. And if you're streaming on DallasCowboys.com, thank you for that. So, Neville, we are being looked at by Cowboys Nation all over the intrawebs. So just so you know, so I presume you all know that the Cowboys' regular season finale in Philadelphia is not going to be Sunday. It's going to be Saturday night at 7:15 Central Time. And that word came down late last night. When did you hear it, Shannon Gross?
I heard it at the conclusion of the Packers-Vikings game.
And that shows me that you are hardcore because you stayed to the conclusion of that game. I found it unwatchable.
I'm not going to tell you how much of the game I watched.
Yeah.
I tuned in after to catch it. So.
I was doing some work after the game, and I found it unwatchable, so I turned it off. But I got a text from the Cowboys Vice President of Public Relations, Rich Dalrymple. Says, we're going Saturday. I said, okay. And so when we were getting Neville hooked up on the line here, I said, Neville, when did you find out that you were playing Saturday night instead of Sunday? What'd you tell me?
I told you I found out about a couple hours ago.
And this is the bliss of kind of a day off. So here's the first thing. I love how you guys and we along with you then have to adjust the calendar. So this feels like Monday night, but it's not anymore. It suddenly became Tuesday, just like that. And so so today was your day off, right?
Yeah, it was. And
that's why you didn't find out till a couple hours ago. And what did you think when you saw that? Did you get like a text or something?
I think the coach hit us up in one of the coaches hit us up in a group message and basically let us know that, the week's going to start a little bit earlier, so, got to lock in that much faster. And, it's going to be a Saturday night game in Philly. So we're all like, okay, well, it's time to go to work again, so let's get to it.
Does it take any adjustment for you on that kind of usually when you've got an odd week, you know the whole schedule in advance. This is really rare for it to happen this way.
Right. No, not really, especially since COVID happened. I feel like we've constantly been having to adjust schedules. So it was kind of like, okay, it's not like, it went from Sunday to having to play, on Thursday or something. Now I'll probably be like, okay, let me make sure I get my routines out the way a lot faster. But no, we're good. We're golden.
And when you have a game that is disappointing like yesterday's was, I know you were all disappointed and probably a little surprised because I imagine all of you really went into that game thinking you were going to win. Do you look forward to the next game even more after that?
Absolutely. Especially around this time, you try to win every single game. Unfortunately, we didn't come out with the win yesterday, but, again, this Saturday we have another opportunity. So that's what we're focused on right now.
So I would like to go back to that night in Phoenix. There's nothing good about Phoenix been for you so far this year, has there? It was the preseason game in Phoenix when you hurt your elbow, and that turned out to be all but about a month of the season. So when did you know that it was going to be that long a rehabilitation, and did you get discouraged at any point through there?
I mean, I think probably about 2 weeks into recovery, when I did the tests and stuff, I realized it was going to be a lot longer. Obviously, as a competitor and a person who loves the game, you want to get back on the field as soon as possible. But with Dallas, the training staff had a plan, and for me, I just had to make sure I did my best to take advantage of the rehab and be a good teammate until my time was ready to come back. So.
When you came back, you looked like you were even better than you were when you got hurt in preseason. How did you maintain that edge?
I mean, just staying locked in and then still finding ways to get better. I mean, even when I wasn't able to practice, I was still able to, be better, as a D lineman and just become a student of the game. So, and having those guys in that locker room, it made it easy for me to just, stay on top of my work so that when I did come back, there would be no drop off.
What, Neville, you mentioned a while ago when you were hurt being a good teammate, and a lot of you guys on the D-line this year have kind of taken your turn, missing some time. What does that mean by being a good teammate when you're not able to be out on the field? How do you contribute? How do you cheer your guys on? How do you be a good teammate when you're not able to be there on game day?
I mean, just, participate in any way possible, whether it be in meetings, just being that guy to encourage your teammates as they go to war and stuff like that. I mean, understanding that, again, even though at the time I couldn't be out there on the field, I could still be that voice to kind of, just be that extra word of encouragement, I was kind of like the hype man, so to speak. So, and I don't have no problem being that, especially for my guys. So it was nothing.
You and DeMarcus Lawrence came back the same week, as I recall, and it was quite an infusion of energy and strength into the entire defensive team. How do you think you and D-Law together have influenced and maybe changed for the better the way your defense is playing?
I mean, just understanding, I guess, the way that we play, is contagious and it's definitely a way to impact. And, having a guy like D-Law that's been dominant for so long, he knows what it's like to, overcome adversity and, still come back and still be the playmaker and the leader that he is. And me, this being my first major experience, it was kind of like, looking at him and watching how he worked, while he was doing his recovery and understanding that, when our time came, that, that we had to be ready and we had to be ready to take that step with the guys. So again, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. And, again, when you have a guy like DeMarcus, it kind of makes it easier for you to follow, especially when you got someone that's doing it the right way.
Now, your defense kind of has been dominant since the two of you came back. And I wonder if, as you get ready to go into these playoffs, do you look in your D-line room and say, this is on us to kind of set the tempo and the tone and lead the pace into the playoffs for this team?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like in the trenches, we always, take pride in that. And, we understand, we're the men up front, and it starts with us. So to go as far as we want to go, obviously we got to make sure we're on the same page, and we got to make sure that we're constantly making an impact. So that's the biggest thing that we're focusing on, and we're attacking every day to make sure that obviously last week we learned from those mistakes and we try to be that much better.
You guys have a lot of charismatic, big personalities on the D-line. Like you guys, Randy and Basham and D-Law and you, like on game day, you're all business. You're 100% business, but you guys, you have fun and it's contagious. Well, talk about the group of guys you have, because it just seems like on the field, off the field, y'all are really a tight-knit group, and you seem like you just enjoy being around each other.
Yeah, man. You know, again, we get paid to play, you know, a child's game, right? So, I mean, we definitely take our sport, we take our craft seriously, but we also understand, you know, what makes it fun is, you know, the way how we play for each other. But yeah, man, it's a whole bunch of energy. You know, we still laugh and crack jokes, but obviously we understand when it's time to, you know, handle business, we do that. But yeah, man, it's a great group of guys. This is probably the most fun I've had being a part of, you know, a D-line group for as long as I've been playing football, because, you know, everybody, we got clowns, we got guys that, you know, that can bring that hype and bring that energy when we're a little bit down. And the thing what I love about our group is, man, it's really hard. You know, you can't really break us because we have each other's backs. And, you know, you got Bash, you got Randy, like you said, you got Carlos, you got D-Log, guys like myself that, you know, we understand that we're just trying to have a great time and, you know, have fun while we playing the sport that we love. So that's all it is.
Now, when you're talking about the hype guys, I'm going to try to see who fits into what slot. I mean, is Basham the biggest hype guy?
Oh, Mr. Energy. Yes, definitely. Yeah, the Energizer Bunny for sure.
And then who? What did he say after the hype guys and the clowns? Who are the clowns? Are you one of the clowns, Nev?
Look, I really phrase it, but you know, I'm a jokester, man. Yeah, I would say I'm the one on the D-line group that, you know, I like to bother other people, you know, get on the guy's skin, but they're my guys, man. You know, and I feel like that's again what makes the process fun. But yeah, you know, I clown around. You know, I like getting on my guys' nerves, man. Nothing too crazy, you know, just enough to be like, hey, man, leave me alone. Like, it's too early to be playing. You know what I mean? So, now, yeah, I'm that guy. You got to stay on your toes with me.
Let me ask you about one other guy, then we're going to take a break, and we're going to pull back and take a little bit bigger look. But young number 11, he'll creep into your room sometimes. Then he'll be over with the linebackers. But he seems to me, just watching him, to be like in that group, in the clown group with you. I mean, I think you and he have some personality similarities, don't you, just amongst each other?
In that regard, you know, I can't even deny that. You know, me and Mike could go back and forth with the jokes. We constantly trying to find ways to one up each other, to get everybody laughing and just kind of clown each other. But Micah, he's a D lineman at heart. That's why he keeps trickling in the D line room. I know that for a fact. He, you know, great linebacker, all around player, but he's a D lineman at heart. Trust me.
Let me tell you, this team is so much better off having Neville Gallimore on it for all of the enthusiasm and strength and acumen that he brings. And we're looking forward to telling everybody the Neville Gallimore story tonight on the Cowboys Hour. What do you got, Shannon?
Brad, when it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
Shannon was getting ready for the next segment, Neville. I busted him right there.
You did. I take 1 week off the job and I forget what I'm supposed to do. I got one thing to do, and that's read the live read.
No, you got more than one thing to do, as we're fixing to find out. The Miller Lite Cowboys Hour is also brought to you by Lou Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and we'll be right back with defensive tackle Neville Gallimore after this.
to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
And welcome back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham and Shannon Gross, and our very special guest this week, Cowboys defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, one of my favorites already. Man, I was thinking, what a weird start to a career you have had. You come in last year as a rookie, and it's COVID, and there's no real training camp, OTAs, all the regular stuff. Can't do any of that. And now here you are this year, and it's kind of semi-normal, and then you get hurt in preseason, and you're only able to play a month plus the postseason. That you must really be looking forward to the rest of your career, man. You have racked up the dues.
Absolutely, man. And again, this is just motivation, for what I need, obviously, to finish out this season the right way and to attack this off season and come back, way better even than I was when I got back.
Okay, we are now going into the part of the show, Neville, that has become one of our very favorites. Shannon's because he invented it, mine because it's just so much fun. So this is the Miller Lite Cowboy Hour. If we were able to be in front of our live audience, Shannon would have a big ice-cold Miller Lite in front of him because he is about to delve into your personal past like look at Neville's eyebrows. Like few people may have ever done. Shannon, take it away.
Neville, this is our Miller Lite moment of the show where we fact check your Wikipedia page, and you tell me along the way whether these things that are on your Wikipedia page are true or false. And as Brad so eloquently pointed out, if we were live in person, I would be taking a swig of Miller Lite every time we get one of these wrong. So,
and by the way, that became such an attractive part of the program that Shannon started to get some things wrong on purpose because it gave him an opportunity to
absolutely
have a little Miller Lite.
Absolutely. Wound up one show, I think.
So let's hope you get some stuff wrong.
We have no
beer today.
We're down here in the dungeon, so we have no Miller Lite.
It's not quite as fun, but we'll try to make it.
We'll have virtual Miller Lite. How about that?
We will. We'll try not to make it awkward with the little delay. So I will read off a little bit of your page, and then I will pause and then let you explain whether this part of it is true or false. So here we go, Neville. Says here you were born January 17th, 1997, and you were a Canadian-American football defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys of the National Football League, and you played college football at Oklahoma. How are we doing so far?
True.
All right.
So far.
No drink for me so far. It says Gallimore's parents were born and raised in Jamaica, and you originally attended St. Patrick's High School, where you played defensive tackle.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. All right. You opted to transfer to the Canadian Prep Academy in Welland, Ontario, which allowed you to travel through the United States and compete against some of the top high school football programs. How are we doing so far?
Right again.
All right. 3 for 3, man. All right, let's go. It says you were the first Canadian-born player. This is interesting. The first Canadian-born player to be invited to participate in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, but couldn't suit up because of a knee injury in 2015.
Yes.
All right.
Right again.
Man, you must have written this yourself.
Okay, wait, hold on just a second. So your folks were from Jamaica, but they went to Canada, and you were born in Ontario, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I just wanted to follow the travelogue.
All right.
I'm a details guy.
Okay, stop me at any point, Brad, because that's the fun part of this segment is we learn about our guests. So I've already learned a lot about Neville. After receiving 30 scholarship offers from U.S. schools, you committed to the University of Oklahoma to play college football. Is that true, 30 scholarship offers?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right on the money right now.
Man, all right. So I'm gonna stop down for a second. 30 scholarship offers. One, what made you choose Oklahoma, and who else was in kind of your final decision when it came to college?
I really was, I've been a fan of Oklahoma since the ninth grade. There's like a little funny story behind it. But my top five, at the time was between Oklahoma, Ohio State, Florida State, I believe USC or Auburn as well. So that was along my top five. I was taking a hard look at.
Nev, I heard funny story.
And I mean, it's only funny because I was back it was ninth grade, and it was a summertime, and me and a couple of my best friends were watching the OU ESPN All Access. I think that was back when like Ryan Broyles and like Kenny Stills were there. I think they were either juniors or seniors, and me and my friends just spent like that week just watching the ESPN All Access as it came out. And my best friend, we're still, we've been best friends ever since, obviously. He was like, yo, man, like, watch, you're going to get an offer from Oklahoma. Like, I see you going to Oklahoma. And, we're in Ottawa, Ontario. And I'm like, man, like, that would be cool, but they're not coming all the way out to another country for me, you know what I mean? But, I mean, I was more so like, yeah, that would be nice, man. That would be cool. And then you fast forward to, I believe, going to my senior year, they offered me, and I was like, oh. Wow, you see what happens when you speak stuff into existence. You know what I mean? But that's a little cool story about it.
That's awesome, man. That is a really cool story. It says talks a whole lot about your red shirt freshman year, your sophomore year, your junior year. We'll skip to your senior year. It said in 2019 you started 14 games, registered 30 tackles, 7.5 for a loss, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and you finished your college career with 148 total tackles, 18 for loss, 9 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 3 college football playoff appearances. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. You doing your thing right now.
Okay, well, yeah. Man, I would be dying of thirst if we had Miller Lite in front of me. There's one more interesting.
I feel like I should lie. I feel like.
No, he's going to take care of that for you, Neville.
You may not have to, because it also says on here that you can sing both the Canadian, Jamaican, and U.S. national anthems simultaneously. Is that true?
Well, as follows. I can see the Canadian national anthem. Yes, please don't ask me to sing it. But the American anthem, I feel like just because I've heard it so much on Sundays, I could follow tune in. I would have to get my parents to sing the Jamaican national anthem.
So tell us this. That was our Miller Lite moment of the show, by the way. Thank you for playing along, Neville. That's always fun.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, man. And then, question, how did your family get from Jamaica? What makes you go from Jamaica to Canada? How did they wind up there? And then how did you get interested in football?
Again, my parents, they moved to Canada. I had 2 older brothers, so they moved there with them, and then obviously had me as the last child. Both my brothers played basketball, and I just kind of, football kind of started off, playing in the neighborhood. And then it just got to a point where, I kind of just fell in love with the sport. It's one of those things like, man, when you're able to play a sport and then not get in trouble for, hitting somebody as hard as possible, you're getting praised for being physical. You know what I mean? You kind of, as always being like a big kid, you kind of gravitate towards that. Like, I like this sport. Like, okay, you're being told good job for, playing aggressive and, being physical. So I'm like, yeah, I think this is where I need to be at. And then again, fell in love with the sport. And then I made my mind up that, I'm going to do whatever I can to get the most out of this sport. So let's see how far I could take it.
All right, we're going to take another break, and then we're going to find out, among other things, from Neville Gallimore when he started to tilt his cap toward the NFL, when he thought that might be in his future, and we'll get to know the the personal Neville Gallimore a little bit.
And at the Omni Frisco Hotel, you can kick off your stay in style at the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys, where Neville stays most Saturday nights during home games. Cool off in the elevated pool, savor upscale comfort food and neighborhood services, and enjoy all the dining and entertainment options the Star has to offer. Visit omnihotels.com/Frisco to learn more and turn the next home game into a weekend getaway.
And the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour is brought to you in part by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys. We'll be right back with Neville Gallimore.
The Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
And welcome back. Brad Sham and Shannon Gross and our special guest this week, Cowboys defensive tackle Neville Gallimore. We're here on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour on the Cowboys Radio Network and DallasCowboys.com every Monday night through the Cowboys season, however long that lasts. So we've got at least 2 more shows to do, and hopefully more than that. So, Neville, the one thing that we did not hear in there, in that biography from Wikipedia that Shannon so diligently researched, I haven't heard anything about hockey.
Depends on what you're asking. Am I a fan?
Did you play?
Am I a fan?
I know you're. I know you're.
Not really.
Okay, I know you're a fan because you went to a Stars game pretty early in their season, did you not? And they gave you a big. Was it a Senators?
Yeah.
Was it the Ottawa Senators?
So I walked in with a Senators jersey, and the Stars decided they was gonna bless me with a Stars jersey. So if you remember, I kind of had half and half. So.
Yeah, you can be Ottawa in your heart, but you're a Dallasite now, young man. So okay, that's cool. But so did you ever try to play? You didn't skate at all? Isn't that unusual?
No, it's not unusual. Not for me, man. I was never a good skater. I don't know, like probably skate like romantically, glide from side to side, maybe if I practice. But as far as really getting after it, I wasn't a good skater. And then it takes a lot, man. To play hockey, you got to have a balance. You playing with this puck, and you guys are sliding or skating like 30, 40 miles per hour. I don't know. I'm boasting, but that wasn't me. That was not me. If you want to see me look unathletic, put me on some skates.
I'm kind of stuck on the image of you gliding romantically from side to side. I'm going to get off that here in a minute. Do you now you've been here a couple of years? Do you go to many Stars games?
Nah, that was my first one, but I'll definitely be looking to go to a couple more. But the only reason why I'm kind of holding back, surprised as it may sound, I've never even been able to go to a Senators game. So I'm looking forward for when this COVID stuff kind of calms down over there. I feel like it's gotta be balanced. Like I gotta be able to say I went to a few Senators games. But I mean, as an opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely go to some more Stars games, man. Hockey games are fun. Hockey games are extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, especially playoff hockey, man. There's very few atmospheres in pro sports that are equivalent to playoff hockey. If you weren't playing football, what do you think you would be doing?
If I never picked up the sport, or just if I don't know. I feel like if I wasn't playing football, I would still be somehow involved in the sport, whether it's I don't know, being like a D-line coach or positional stuff. I don't know, somehow working with people. Couldn't really tell you off the bat. I feel like once I start playing the sport, everything that I would want to do would involve the sport in some way.
I would like to note that when Shannon was reading your bio from Wikipedia, I heard January 17th, and I did the math, and I'm really bad at math, but if my math was right, you're fixing to be 25.
You good, man. Yeah, you're right on the money. Math is great.
I'm not that good. I just knew that I heard the 7 and I subtracted from 12. So you are getting ready to have you're getting ready to have a playoff birthday. I think that's outstanding. Did you play any other sports as a kid?
Yeah, I did. I played basketball. I played soccer. I wrestled for like a week. Fun fact. Yeah, I played volleyball in middle school. I mean, don't look at my body now. I wasn't always this dense.
What an interesting word for you to use, because Zach Martin used that word to describe you.
That's where I got it from.
Is that where you got it? Because you're playing.
Yeah, the word.
You're playing so well, and so Zach was talking to some reporters one day, and someone said, "Hey, what do you think of Neville?" And he said, "Well, there is a dense human being right there."
Yeah, he told me that, and I remember I was like, I told him I don't know how I feel about that name. He's like, no, I was like, that's you're dense, bro. Like you strong, big, and I'm like. Yeah, I've never heard a person being called dense before. I'm like, okay, I'll take it and run with it.
You mentioned earlier that Micah is a D lineman at heart. If you could pick any offensive lineman that you think should be a defensive lineman or has a defensive lineman mentality, I have a guess, Brad. If
on this team?
On this team. My guess is going to be...
Wait, don't say it yet.
Okay.
An offensive lineman on this team who has a defensive lineman's mentality.
Or wants to play D-line deep down inside.
All right, let's see what Neville says.
All right, mine's going to be... Let me show you who I think. I'm going to go... All right, go ahead.
That would be my...
Yeah, I'm kind of anxious to... Are we thinking Big Tarn? Is that what we're thinking?
We're not thinking big
Or am I
Tyron.
wrong?
Well, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I don't think it's right or wrong. But Tyron was not the one that either of us was thinking of. And we are thinking of the same guy.
Who? Zach, Connor Williams. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious.
I said Lyle just because I think Lyle's got this dirty, mean streak in him, and I think he likes to hit people. On the field, not off the field. But I think sometimes he's got a little. He likes to play to the whistle and after the whistle when he can.
No, you're right. Not a little, a lot, a lot. So no, you guys are right on the money. Now, I messed up. I don't know why I should have thought of that first, but LC for sure, a D lineman at heart.
Have you ever gotten chippy with anybody, whether it's at training camp? We know how sometimes tempers can flare, and we know you guys are all brothers once you're back in the locker room and everything. But have you ever got a little testy with any of your offensive lineman teammates?
Probably, but that's just about the nature of the sport. I'm not really a guy that if it does get chippy, I don't really entertain. I waste too much energy. I mean, when we're all grinding and competing, to play on Sundays and make the team, I understand, the energy is gonna be high. But I mean, as far as the little extra shoves that playing past the whistle, I mean, it happens. I mean, we're all dogs, trying to make the most of our opportunity. But I mean, no, not enough to where, really fought or stuff happened after practice. And if it did get to that point, I'm pretty sure, we killed it pretty quickly.
Now, we're talking about LC being a guy who likes to play right to and through the whistle. Most of the good teams that I've had a chance to be around have had an offensive lineman or two who have had that kind of, I'm going to say nasty, and I love LC, but just a little bit of nasty that that kind of Eric Williams was that way, Mark Colombo, Larry Allen for sure. Mm-hmm. So that I think LC's got some of that, but there's another guy in the offensive line who one of his teammates, I won't say who, I was asking about this guy, and then I'm going to ask you, Neville, to talk about this teammate of yours, and I was saying, what about this guy? And this other offensive lineman said, oh yeah, he's got a little dirtbag in him. and the guy was Connor.
A little dirtbag.
A little dirtbag in him. And the guy was Connor Williams, and it surprised me a little bit. Tell me about Connor.
Yeah, he's a guy that definitely, I don't know the term dirtbag, but no, he got some. He definitely got some dog. And that's a guy who's gonna play like, balls to the wall, end to the end of the whistle. Whether I feel like we're in pads, whether it's walkthrough, that's a guy where he wants to take it there every time. And I respect that because when you're going up against Connor, you're gonna get his best every time. So he definitely got that that mean streak to him. And I feel like if anybody O-line that you're gonna get into it, apart from LC, I feel like Connor's another one.
So for you as a young...
That's my guy, though, man.
Yeah, I understand why. And for you as a young player trying to learn the tricks of playing in the interior of the defensive line, so you're going up against Connor Williams and Zach Martin a lot. What's that done to help improve you as a football player?
It just makes playing, on Sundays, just easier because, you're getting great competition every single day. You're Zach Martin, 7th, 8th time Pro Bowler, and when you get a chance to go up against guys like that every day, man, and you're seeing the results, you're putting the work in because, like, again, you're getting, great skilled guys who give max effort all the time. So it's basically like, you got to show up because if you don't show up, you get exposed, right? So, I mean, that definitely helps, So you're going up against them. By the time you get to Sunday, it's time to have all the fun because you done put in the work against, top-tier guys.
We're going to take our final break and be back in just a moment with our special guest, Cowboys defensive tackle Neville Gallimore.
And if you want to use what the pros use, Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit getjackblack.com today.
And we'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour.
The Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
And welcome back to the Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham with Shannon Gross and our very special guest, Cowboys defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, who I wish you could all be around. This infectious personality is just such a huge part of this team. Be advised, the Cowboys game this weekend to finish the regular season is Saturday night in Philadelphia. Saturday night's all right with me. Saturday night. Saturday. I like Saturday night.
Saturday. Sorry
Easy,
about that.
Easy.
Sorry.
Easy.
Sorry.
Easy. Don't make Neville come through the screen now. We don't want to have any of that. So, Nev, I was thinking one of the things that's been kind of fun about this team is the different ways and number of people who have gotten into the end zone. Now, 4 different defensive linemen. Right now, have
still waiting on my turn.
I'm
still waiting for my
saying
turn.
we've had Big Los, Carlos Watkins intercepted one, ran it back in New Orleans, and D-Law, of course, had that amazing one against Washington, and then Dorrance Armstrong had the scoop and score in Washington, and then people forget that although it was not a play on defense, Chauncey Golston, Chauncey got the recovery of the block punt by Corey Clement. So where is Neville's turn, and what will you do when you get in the end zone? Have you ever scored a touchdown?
When I used to play on offense way back in the day when I thought I was going to be a running back. Other than that, I'm still waiting on my turn. But again, they say you can't go chasing plays, so. Again, we're going to keep grinding and working, and then when I do get that opportunity, I don't know. I may do a dance. I may scream. I may get so excited I may pass out for 3 seconds. Somebody may have to fan me out. I don't know, because every big man's dream is to score. Every big man's dream is to be in the end zone, man. So,
How old?
don't know, it'll be something.
How old were you when you were a running back?
Probably when I was like 13, probably like 11, 13, around that area.
Now, how big were you then as a young adolescent?
I was probably like 205, maybe.
That's a little awesome.
Now, what's your true height and weight today? Not that it's any of our business.
6'2", 310.
And
6'2", 310.
and that's a dense 310. But let me say that we have seen on this team, that big men can be involved in the offense. Steele caught one. We've seen Connor McGovern. They wanted to throw one to him. He's playing fullback. You know, remember Shannon William Perry?
Oh, yeah, the
fridge for the Chicago Bears.
The fridge.
The fridge. You remember the fridge, too. And you weren't even around yet.
Yeah.
He was a defensive lineman.
He was a defensive tackle, and they put him at fullback some to plow open a hole. Have you talked to Kellen, is what I'm saying, Neville. Have you told him you used to be a running back?
I put in, I just kind of put it up in the air. Like I said, if they need that, somebody dense, to fly through the middle, hey, you don't got to look too far. But mind you, we got great running backs, man. We got so many guys that get it. But yeah, hey, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind getting into the end zone.
What did you say about how you got to Oklahoma? So you spoke it into existence, and it came true.
Yes.
See, I can just
so again, you just can't
goal to go, and we're gonna see the inverted wishbone.
Okay.
All right. This is what I want to see.
Okay.
I've got the quarterback. And I'm going to put him under center, okay? And I've got Connor McGovern on one side of him, and I've got Neville Gallimore on the other side of him, and I got Micah Parsons at tailback. Micah Parsons at tailback.
Yeah.
Okay? How would that be?
Wow.
Hey, that is a Hall of Fame running back group. That is an elite. I don't know who's stopping that.
The biggest fight might be between the two blocking fullbacks and the tailback to see who's going to actually get the ball.
Right.
Because I think McGovern and Gallimore would like to have their hands on that football. So, Neville, what has been – I think we can make a list of the things that the obstacles that you've already had to overcome in less than 2 seasons of professional football between COVID and your injury this year. And so what's been the best thing? What has surprised you in a pleasant way about life in the NFL? That's cool. I didn't know that was going to be part of the deal.
I mean, first off, when you got players that you look up to and you see, performing at a high level on Sundays, and then, being in high school to being in college and to, they're your teammates now, I think that's pretty cool. And then I feel like, realizing these guys are seeing, kind of like the status that these guys have, and then just getting to know them and realizing, they're just like, regular people like me and you. I think that's really cool. And then, just also, I mean, one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to play football in America is just to kind of get that, that feel of what it's like, playing a competitive sport against, great competition, and just, the atmosphere, man. Like, it's nothing like going out on Sundays and to go perform in front of, especially the fan base that, that we got, like the Cowboys Nation, and like that fan base is everything, you know what I mean? So, and then even when it's a away game, just getting that opportunity is real cool to me. Obviously, even with the, the COVID and being hurt and stuff like that, but just being able to, have my dreams come true, and then knowing that I'm still getting better and I'm still able to find ways to play my best football while being in the NFL is awesome to me, man. But yeah, I'd have to say, again, being around players that There's so many people look up to it, just seeing like, man, these guys are cool, down to earth, man, real humble guys that, again, they just love the game of football, man.
Has there been a guy or guys that, it sounds like you grew up loving football at a really young age and appreciate the history of football. Have there been any guys that you either have played against or want to play against that you have looked up to or you've admired or you've always watched them play and you're like, man, I really want to be on the same field as them or watch them play in person? Is there been anybody that you just kind of been like, man, this is really kind of a cool moment for me?
I mean, really, all the top D linemen. I mean, I even start off, obviously in our room, playing alongside like DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory. You get an opportunity. Well, I was hurt. We didn't get a chance to play. Actually, no, we did. Sorry, playing against the Rams and scrimmage and practicing against them. Aaron Donald. Seeing guys like Grady Jarrett, the Damacans who I was a big fan of growing up, and just. You go from you watching those guys on TV to, even though I wasn't playing, but like knowing that, okay, had I not got hurt, I would have had the opportunity, to compete against, a guy like that. But yeah, just seeing these dominant D-line players, but also realizing that, there's definitely, there's plays that, there's opportunities for me out there to match that and to be on the same level. So again, I would say that's also. Those are the guys.
Have you looked at any videos of Randy White and Bob Lilly?
Pardon me?
Have you looked at any videos of Randy White or Bob Lilly?
I need to, and I will ASAP. I feel like I'm messing up. I should have been able to tell you yes, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't, but I will.
Those are the two Hall of Fame defensive tackles. And the two best in the history of the franchise, and you would find it instructive to go to YouTube and watch some tape of Randy White and Bob Lilly, because you would have a lot to learn from that.
One last question from me. This is kind of off topic a little bit, but is there a story behind your number?
Well, my number is actually it was 90. I wore it in college, but obviously the big dog has that. So, I just said I just need a number in the 90s. 96 was kind of a number that I kind of gravitated towards after 90. But no, I don't think that there's no real reason. No real reason behind it.
It's a good choice. It looks really good on you.
Yep, you look like a 96. Hey, thank you, Neville, for taking the time tonight. We just enjoyed the heck out of being with you and love watching what you're doing. Neville Gallimore, everybody.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.